Hello guys, it has been a while, huh? I recently finished the questions arc of Umineko and I want to share my current theories with all of you. I am a tryhard, so I try to figure out everything about the story. Yeah, I know that it sounds stupid, but I can't help myself. I like doing stuff like this. I have to admit, this is the most fun I have ever had with a mystery. This truly is an amazing puzzle. This story also has an amazing soundtrack and some great characters. I really love Butler and Maria right now. My rating for the first half of Umineko is an 8.5. I'm so immersed in Umineko right now and I can't wait to start the second half of the story. I will probably start it right away after I upload this video. I have to warn you guys about something. I plan on only giving brief descriptions of my theories. If I gave a rank 3 explanation about each murder and how my solutions work with every red truth, then we would be here for like 10 hours. There is a lot to explain since there are so many red truths and many ways a mystery could have gone otherwise. I will just give my solution and that's it. If you are confused about my theories and how I reach these conclusions, then just leave a comment and I will explain everything in detail. Now, let's start the fight with the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Let's start with the Epitaph, the first mystery that was shown to us in Umineko. My method of solving the Epitaph is a bit different from the intended one. Firstly, you will need to figure out what the key is. However, I skipped that part at the start. Like Butler said in episode 1, the first part of the Epitaph isn't important as long as you can figure out where the door is and how to open it, and I did exactly that. The Golden Round is located on the island. That was confirmed in episode 3. It was also confirmed that it isn't in the ghost house, since Rosa and Eva had to walk out to get to the Golden Round. It also isn't in the mansion since Kinzo's wife searched every room in the house, but found 0 hidden rooms. It couldn't be Beatrice's hidden mansion since it is way too far away from the ghost house. That leaves only one option. The Golden Round is in the chopper. That isn't the only thing pointing towards the Golden Round being in the chopper. We know that Kinzo didn't allow anyone except for the servants to go to the chopper. Why is that? All 4 of the Epitaph survivors also fit the chopper theme. People go to choppers to grant their loved ones an eternal rest. Maria cards the ritual or resurrection ceremony for a witch. Where do ceremonies take place? In choppers. And then there is the chopper mystery. This door will open only at 1 odds of a quadrillion to 1. You will be blessed only at 1 odds of a quadrillion to 1. This is the hidden mystery of the Epitaph, the one that we need to solve to open the door. Luckily, the Epitaph tells us what we need to do with the Twilights. Quadrillion must be the word that the key will remove something from. It has 11 letters, so it perfectly fits the third part of the Epitaph. The word also was hidden from us when the mystery was first shown to us in episode 2. Let's skip the first 2 Twilights for now and focus on the third one. On the third Twilight, those who remain shall praise my noble name. The creator of the Epitaph is Kinzo. This step tells us that we need to praise Kinzo's name on the third Twilight. By removing 6 letters from quadrillion, we are left with only 5 letters. What 5-word combination could praise Kinzo's noble name? What even is Kinzo's noble name? His noble name is Rodushiro Miya. The letters R, O, R, D, U, R are present in quadrillion. He can praise Kinzo's noble name on the third Twilight by reordering those 5 letters. Let's return to the first Twilight now. The 6 letters that we remove are Q, A, I, R, I, and N. Those 6 letters make up the key. On the second Twilight, those who are left tear apart the 2 that are close. If you remove those 6 letters, then only 2 letters remain next to each other, D and R. We do the second Twilight by separating them. From the 4th to the 8th Twilight, the Epitaph talks about gouging 5 body parts. The body parts go from the top of the body to the bottom of the body. This means that we have to gouge the letters by removing by starting from the end of the board. 4th Twilight, U. 5th Twilight, D. 6th Twilight, R. 7th Twilight, O. 8th Twilight, L. After gouging the last letter, the hidden door will open and the witch shall revive. Here becomes the new golden witch, Beatrice. We now will have an easier time finding the key since we already know what 6 letters the key needs to have. But first, we need to understand what the key could even be. Thanks to episode 3, we know that the Sweet Fish River is a metaphor for something. But for what? It must be something that could be called a river, but isn't actually a river. That moves up and down, but isn't a body of water. I believe that the Sweet Fish River is a railway. Railways can be used as rivers in a way, and you can travel downstream with them, up and down. The key is a shore for this Sweet Fish River. What is a shore for railways? A railway station. The key is a railway station. Now you just need to find the railway station that has the letters Q, I, A, R, I, N in the name. And doing that was easy. You don't even need to change the order of the letters much. The key is the Covilian metro station. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Whatever. But just to be sure, we need to figure out if Taiwan could be the country in which Kinzo spent his childhood years. We know that Kinzo's home country wasn't Japan because he didn't experience the Kanto earthquakes. We also know that Kinzo's home country had a revival after World War II. Did Taiwan have a massive revival after World War II? Yes, it did. The revival even has a name, the Taiwan Miracle. The miracle refers to the rapid industrialization and economic growth of Taiwan after World War II. And as if this wasn't enough already, there is even more. The Sweet Fish River itself is the Tamsui metro line. And what is the meaning of the word Tamsui? Freshwater. And where do sweet fish live in? Freshwater rivers. And the Tamsui metro line is a sweet fish river. And this is how I saw the Epitaph and reached the Golden Land. This reader was really fun and I struggled with it for about 5 days. This is one of the most fun experiences I have ever had with the story. I tried so many ways to solve it and I finally reached a way that can actually do it. The happiness I felt when I solved it was really big. I solved it in episode 3 and I had forgotten about some major clues when I tried to solve it, which made it even harder. And this was just the start of the grand tale. Beatrice's heart is an even bigger mystery than the Epitaph. The culprit of these games is Sayo. She is also known as Shannon, Conan, and Beatrice. Let me explain how I reached this conclusion. We can uncover the identity of the culprit by figuring out who could have killed Nanja at the end of episode 3. A person either was dead or had an alibi, and there were no more than 17 people on the island. The only way this murder could be possible is if one of the 17 people wasn't actually dead, and this is why the culprit must be Sayo. The fact that Sayo's real name isn't Shannon was revealed to us back in episode 1. The red truth. Shannon is dead means nothing to us because there is actually no Shannon on the island. The same thing applies to Canon. I also believe that Shannon and Canon are the same person. In episode 4, Beatrice claims that there are no more than 70 people on the island. This is the same exact trick that she used in episode 3 to hide the fact that Kinzo is already dead. There must actually be 16 people on the island. Don't worry, I actually have some evidence that isn't just a guess. Firstly, we have never seen them together in a scene that didn't include magic or didn't have an accomplice present. There is a reason why Butler has never seen them together. Secondly, Canon, Shannon, Beatrice all have blue eyes. Thirdly, in episode 1, chapter 4, we see Canon brushing and looking at Butler and being nervous around him. I wish I could. What do these words mean? Why would Canon say this? This is the first clue that told us that Shannon and Canon are the same person. Only Shannon would have a reason to act like this around Butler thanks to their past, and lastly, Canon's real name is never revealed to us. It isn't revealed because his real name is Sayo as well. I believe that this evidence is enough to prove that Sayo and Canon are the same person. I also believe that Sayo is the Beatrice that we saw on the second and fourth game boards. Firstly, Beato and the Beatrice that is writing the letters address Kinzo differently. Beato addresses simply as Kinzo, while the one who is writing the letters addresses him as Kinzo-sama. Only a servant would use Sama when addressing Kinzo. And Sayo's main personality, Shannon, is a servant. Secondly, both Shannon and Canon have never been around when Beatrice has been spotted. And thirdly, the only interaction that we know about from 6 years ago is Butler's promise to return and save Shannon. This alone proves that Shannon is Beatrice. I also believe that there have been 3 Beatrices so far. The first Beatrice was the one that Kinzo fell in love with. This Beatrice sadly passed away. However, Kinzo and Beatrice had another child before she died. Her name was also Beatrice Oshiromiya. This is the Beatrice that we met in episode 3 flashback. She was groomed by Kinzo to replace the previous Beatrice as his lover. Sounds dark, huh? Sometimes the truth just is like that. Nothing to do about it. And we know that Kinzo is a sick freak. And this Beatrice died just like the first Beatrice. However, she left behind a kid once again, and the kid's name was Sayo. Sayo Oshiromiya. Yes, I do indeed believe that Sayo is the child of the second Beatrice and Kinzo. Sayo and Beatrice have the same eye color, blue. Genetic traits like this one helps reach the truth. At the start of episode 3, we see a flashback of a young Beatrice being in the hidden mansion. Beato is just another personality that Sayo has. The events of this flashback happened to Sayo back when she was a kid. This time Kinzo didn't try grooming his kid and instead made her a servant when she became a teenager. And now we are done uncovering the truth of Beatrice. However, we haven't pierced her heart just yet. Why is she committing the mass murder? Why is she killing her own family? Only her own heart can answer these questions. I will reveal the truth of her heart at the end of this video. Let's reveal the truth of the four games first. All killers have accomplices, and Sayo is no exception. The 4 games have different accomplices, however 4 people always are Sayo's accomplices, and those people are Genji, Kumasawa, Nanja and Maria. I have 2 events that confirm that they are accomplices without a shadow of a doubt. Firstly, Genji, Kumasawa, Canon, and Maria acted like Beatrice was next to Butler. We know that she couldn't be there since magic isn't real and that Canon is the culprit. Why would the other 3 people act like she was there as well and lie to Butler about it? They did that because it was their task to make Butler believe in Beatrice and magic. This is Beatrice's main goal. Secondary, the serial crimes of Genji, Kumasawa and Nanjo knew about the hidden mansion and the existence of Beatrice. Why did they lie about her? It is because they are accomplices and they couldn't reveal the truth to anyone. Genji, Kumasawa, Nanja, and Maria are accomplices in every game. Why were these four support Sayo in these murders? We learn in episode 4 that Maria and Beatrice are in an alliance, and Maria was actually one of the causes for this tragedy since she wanted to get revenge on Rosa and Angie for hurting her feelings. Genji and Kumasawa are loyal servants to Sayo. They have known Sayo ever since her birth. Both Genji and Kumasawa are also represented in the magic world by Renova and Nigeria. Their loyalty is the reason why they are loyal to Sayo. And Nanjo? We know that he has a sick grandkid who died after the mass murders. Nanjo needed money for the grandkid's treatment, so he agreed to help Sayo in the mass murders. In episode 4, we learned that Sayo sent money to Nanja, Kumasawa, and Rudolph a day before the family conference. Why did she send them so much money? Well, that is because they were either her accomplices or could potentially become her accomplices. These are the people she sent money to: Genji, Nanja, Kumasawa, Goda, Kraus, Eva, Rudolph, and Rosa. She had no idea who would be her accomplices before the mass murder happened. Beatrice is figure like that. She promised a lot of money to all her accomplices, and this is how she keeps her promise. This is why she sent money to all the servants and Kinzo's children. I do not think that she sent any money to Natsuki, Hideyoshi, or Kiri, because Angie only found one letter in the mailbox. He also didn't send any money to the children since Butler didn't get a letter either. Beatrice sending money to her potential accomplices is the red truth for sure. These four weren't her only accomplices. In every game she has some other additional accomplices. She got all these accomplices to her side by promising them gold. Now, let's begin solving the games finally. The first Twilight of the first game. Sayo killed all of them. After killing them, she placed all their bodies in the shed with Genji helping her. Sayo and Genji draw the magic circle on the door. Nanjo and Hideyoshi lied about Sayo being dead. Eva and Hideyoshi were bought by Sayo's god. They were promised enough gold to save Hideyoshi's company. Eva leaving the discussion early during the first night makes no sense to me. Someone like her would never leave a debate early, especially one so important. Eva also tried to create discord among the family members during the episode by claiming that Kinzo-kun had left the study. Nanjo and Hideyoshi identified the corpse, which bypasses the red truth. She guaranteed the identities of unidentified corpses. Let's also talk about what happened to Natsuki's door. Sayo wanted to kill Natsuki for the first night. However, she changed her mind when she saw that Natsuki had a charm on her door. She decided to rig her bee to create evidence for a witch existing. The second Twilight of the first game. Eva and Hideyoshi opened up the door to Sayo because they were accomplices. Sayo then killed them and separated their bodies. After killing them, she cut the chain in half and pasted the magic symbol on the door with Genji and Kumasawa helping her. The chain was an illusion. The only ones who actually saw the chain were Genji and Kanan. The fifth Twilight of the first game. Sayo faked her dead hair using blood packs. Kumasawa lied about someone attacking Kanan and running away. Nanjo lied about Kanan being dead. Now the family members got a good look at his body and the body got locked in a room. Kanan Gorko had easily sneaked away after being put in the room since he had a master key. The mysterious letter are four of the suspects. Genji, Kumasawa, Nanja and Maria are accomplices. One of them played the letter there. It doesn't matter which one of them did the task. The 6th, the 7th and the 8th Twilight of the first game. Are four other people in the room were accomplices. Sayo walked into the room and told Maria to face the wall and sing a song. The three victims allowed Sayo to kill them. They already know that they will die today. After killing them, she called Kinzo's study to rule the group out. Before leaving the room, she left a letter that would lure Natsuki to the main lobby. She then went out of the room and locked the door with a master key. The ninth Twilight of the first game. After killing Ninja, Kumasawa, and Genji, Sayo changed into Beatrice's dress and went to hide in the main lobby. She bested Natsuki in the door and killed her with a shot to the head. And this is it for now. I will explain now the 10th Twilight after I finish explaining the 4th game. You can only figure out what really happened here using information from episode 4. To recap, Sayo was a culprit, Anja, Kumasawa, Genji and Maria were her accomplices. Eva and Hideyoshi were side accomplices that were bought with gold. The second game is a lot harder than the first one. This game made most people believe in magic because it seemed completely impossible. Let's break this illusion! Rosa's meeting with Beatrice. How did Maria's candy get fixed her? I believe that her candy wasn't fixed. Are instances of magic in this story will happen to people who are accomplices or are going to die soon. Thanks to this we learned that Rosa became an accomplice in this scene. Soya braved Rosa with gold. She was promised enough gold to escape the debt that was left to her by Maria's father. Her task was to drive every person away from Batterer by creating discord among the group. After this, Rosa acted like she truly saw the witch from the painting. The first Twilight of the second game. Sayo poisoned the 6 victims and carved out their stomachs. The chopper was never actually locked. There isn't a single red truth that claims that this was a locked building. Rosa and all the servants were accomplices in this game, including Gota. Buying him with gold would be really easy. They lied to the kids about the chopper being locked, while Rosa went to get the key from Maria's bag to share the illusion that the building was locked. The second Twilight of the second game. Soyo used her canon persona to kill Jessica by literally backstabbing her. After this, she killed Canon inside herself and decided to not use that persona ever again. She put her first master key in Jessica's pocket and locked the door with her second master key. Gota is an accomplice and lied about how the events happened here. The 7th and 8th Twilight of the second game. Kumasawa and Nanjo were killed by Sayo. Genji and Gota were accomplices and lied about what really happened. They carried the bodies outside after Sayo killed them in the servants' room. The 4th, the 6th and the 5th Twilight of the second game. Sayo killed Gota and George. After this she killed herself and created a perfect locked room. It didn't matter if she was dead since everyone would get killed in the 10th Twilight anyways. Sayo killed herself to keep the promise she gave to George. She promised to spend the rest of her life with him and she accepted his ring. Beato said instead that she keeps her promises. Sayo was also filled with guilt after seeing how hard Batterer defended both of her personalities and didn't want to keep moving forward. The Parlor's letter. Rosa was an accomplice and was the one who put the letter there. She did this to force Batterer to leave the room. Sayo wanted Batterer to be all around by the end. The 9th Twilight of the second game. During this Twilight, Batterer meets Kinzo and Beatrice. How is that even possible if Kinzo was dead? Well, here is my explanation. Batterer didn't meet them directly. He hallucinated them after drinking all that alcohol. This is what really happened. Genji brought Batterer to the study and explained everything to him. He shared everything he knew about Sayo, Beatrice and Kinzo, and Batterer was forced to admit that Beatrice truly does exist. The bet between Batterer and Beatrice in this scene wasn't about accepting magic. It was about Batterer admitting that Beatrice is real, and he did exactly that. To recap, Sayo is a culprit. Nanjo, Genji, Kumasawa and Maria were accomplices. Gota and Rosa were side accomplices that were bought by gold. Let's move on to the third game. The third game was the most interesting one for me. There being 2 culprits really added spice to the formula. The first Twilight of the third game. This Twilight is easy as hell if you do not view Karen and Shannon as the same person. The difficulty is created by your own theories and what you believe in. The point of this Twilight is to make the people with this theory doubt themselves. There is no 100% logical solution to this like with most of the other murders. This was a giant risk. The chopper door wasn't locked at all. After the others found her body in the parlor, Sayo dressed up as Conan and ran to the chopper. The others were weirded out about the chopper being already unacted, but they didn't pay that much attention to that fact thanks to all the murders. This plan is bad and filled with risks, however this is just how Beatrice likes to play. Magic can only get created from risks with impossibly low chances of success. Sayo threw Kizao's body in the boiler room so that it would burn up. She then murdered Genji, Kumasawa and Gode. After killing them, she put their bodies in the selected rooms. The order of their body placement was this: Kinzo, Genji, Gode, Kumasawa. After this, Shannon locked herself in the parlor and faked her death. The rooms were very spread out, so Shannon had the time to run to the chapel and dress up as Conan and fake his death. The birth of a new witch. Eva saw the epitaph and got the guard. The ritual shock had been over, however, it didn't stop. Why? That's because Eva was taken over by her black witch. Eva wanted to keep all of the money to herself. After that, she started to kill everyone else as well thanks to her fear of another family member getting the gold. Work and motives were crowded by greed. The also was robbed. She wanted George to get all the gold. She wanted Hideyoshi's company to survive. Without Rob, it cannot be seen. The second Twilight of the third game. It is as Butler terrorized. Eva sneaked out of the guest house while Hideyoshi stayed inside to serve her cover. She killed both Rosa and Maria because she didn't want to share any of the gold with Rosa. The fourth, the fifth, and the sixth Twilight of the third game. Carrie found the cigarette in Eva's room and ruled Hideyoshi out of the ghost house. They were planning on questioning, but never managed to do it since Eva cornered them there. Eva and Hideyoshi killed Rudolph and fatally injured Kiri. Kiri managed to fatally injure Hideyoshi before dying. Eva ran back to the ghost house to get Ninja's harp since Hideyoshi was still alive. While Eva was gone, Sayo killed Hideyoshi and inserted the stakes in all their bodies. The seventh and the eighth Twilight of the third game. Eva grew very of Kraus and Hideyoshi and Natsuki since somebody had to pierce the three bodies with the stakes. She poisoned their coffee and then strangled them. After killing them, she bowed their bodies outside. She thought that she had avenged Hideyoshi by killing them both and went to rest in the ghost house. Later on, Sayo pierced their bodies, so Eva learned that somebody else killed Hideyoshi. That is why she became even more agitated after finding their bodies. The ninth Twilight of the third game. This is gonna be a long one since a lot happened here. George's murder happened like this. Sayo decided to give Eva a punishment for killing her family members, so she decided to kill George. She called Nonjo and got him to put George on the phone with her. She acted as Shannon and lured him to the mansion. Sayo used her Shannon persona again. Sayo using her Shannon persona again counts as Shannon reviving. Nanja closed the window after George left. Sayo killed George in the mansion where he was embracing her body. What was the deal with the numbers on the door? 0, 7, 1, 5, 11, 29. We learned that Butler's birthday is July 15. The second set of numbers must be a birthday as well. I believe that this is Sayo's real birthday, November 29th. Using her own Uncle Trash's birthdays as a password is something that teenagers often do. She drew this on the door because she revealed to George that she couldn't rob him and allowed Butler instead. And then comes the hardest mystery of this episode. Nanjo's murder. Saya was the one who killed Nanjo. Since her true name is Saya and Shannon and Cannon were just personas, she bypasses the red truth war that claimed that nobody from the 18 could have killed him. And what happened to Jessica in this Twilight? After killing Nanjo, Saya changed into her Cannon persona and walked into the servants' quarters. She reunited with Jessica here and apologized for everything that had happened. After this, she led Jessica to the parlor and had her hide behind the curtains so that Eva couldn't kill her. And that is it for the Ninth Twilight. To recap, this episode had two culprits, Saya and Eva. Saya's accomplices were Genji, Kumasawa, Nanjo, and Maria. Eva's accomplice was Hideyoshi. Let's move on to the fourth game. The fourth game is even more different from the first two games than the third game was. I won't be discussing the events by going from Twilight to Twilight this time, since all the bodies were found in the Ninth Twilight and the actual time of death is unknown. I disagree with Butter's reasoning for the parents recognizing Kinzo's presence. Kinzo's name going to the next head is way too big of a leap for my liking. My theory is this: no, the red truth claims that the others actually saw Kinzo. It is possible that they recognize his presence thanks to a letter that had his handwriting. Back in episode 1, they claimed that Kinzo is the only one who could send the letter since it had a mark of the ring on it. This information, along with Maria seeing Kinzo in the garden, could make them believe in his presence. And then there were the weird phone calls. I could always claim that Saya had a voice changer and faked all those phone calls, but that is no damn good. No damn good at all. A solution like that would be boring and out of nowhere. Here is what really happened. All the parents were bribed by Saya. Saya told them that this was just a game to decide who would become the future push Romy ahead. This is why Klaus and Kiri lied about the other adults being dead, Kinzo being next to them, and magic existing. They thought that this was just a test for their children. What about Jessica's phone call? Jessica isn't someone who can be bribed by God. No, the only way to get her to betray Butler would be by threatening her outward. Genji got her to tell Butler that George was already dead and that magic exists because he threatened Cannon's life. A maiden in love would do anything to protect her loved one. When did everyone start dying? I believe that everyone started to get killed off after Kiri's phone call or after Butler failed her test. It could have started after either one, but the first option is more likely since then Saya would have had more time to set everything up. The order of them doesn't matter. Saya had Genji lead the first Twilight victims to another room, while she killed off Nanjo, Kraus, and Kiri herself. After that, she returned to the parlor and killed the first Twilight sacrifices. George was killed by Saya after he failed his test. Jessica was killed after she made her phone call to Butler. Maria never went to the chapel and instead got invited to the mansion. This is where the scene that was shown to us in Maria's dream happened. Beatrice allowed Maria to kill Rosa, and after that invited her to the Golden Round by poisoning her. Saya ordered Goda and Kumasawa to look like they killed themselves with the rope. After they did that, Saya shot them through the window. It also is possible that Saya just had another key to the shed, since there being only one key was never confirmed in this game, but nothing points towards that being the case. After everyone except for Butler was killed, Saya killed herself to serve the illusion of a witch. She killed herself because Butler broke her heart by not remembering his promise to her. And now we are done with the Iron's murders until we do the 10th Twilight. However, we aren't done with the 4th game quite yet. There still are future timelines mysteries to uncover. What made Angie start believing in miracles and magic when she visited the sailor's house? Angie started to believe in magic and miracles because she found Sakutaro. We see it in this picture. This confirmed for her that Rosa truly loved Maria, since Rosa decided to make another Sakutaro. Rosa bought it to Rokenjima and wished to give it to her there, but she suddenly forgot it on the boat. That is how the sailor acquired the toy. This also was a miracle with only a 1 in a quadrillion chance of happening, which is why she started to believe in miracles. This is how Angie could revive Sakutaro at the end of episode 4. What miracle saved Angie from Kazumi? Kazumi and her men were about to murder Angie, but someone managed to save her. It was Amakusa. He sniped Kazumi and her entire gang. In the manga we see that Amakusa's weapon case is large enough to hold a sniper rifle. Amakusa getting to Angie in time and even knowing that Angie was in danger was proof magic and miracles existing. From episode 4 score sheet we learned that Angie died here as well. This honestly has me beat. I don't know anything that I could be willing to call the truth or even a logical theory. I don't think we can point out what exactly happened just yet. But I do have 2 theories. We know that Angie was chewed into tiny pieces after she died thanks to the way she died in the magic world. Thanks to this we know that she fell into the ocean. It could have been a suicide, but I do not think that she would kill herself there. She promised the sailor to return, and she finally understood magic. Angie killing herself is no good, no damn good at all. The more likely scenario is that Amakusa also killed her and dumped her body in the water. I have no idea why he would do that. Amakusa seemed recognized dude, but he was the only person who could have killed her on the island. There was nobody else there except for the sailor, but yeah, the sailor didn't kill Angie. This looks out of character, but this is my best guess for now. And now for the final question. Who is Butler Ushiromiya? Butler isn't the son of Ushiromiya Asumo, however, he is the son of Ushiromiya Rudolph. I think that Butler's real mother is Kyuri Ushiromiya. Both of their personalities are pretty similar. Both of them love their flipping over the chessboard thinking, and their bond seems to go into the direction where Butler starts to recognize her as his mother. We know that Kyuri's child was stillborn, and her birth happened on the same day as Asumo's kid's birth. I think that Asumo was the one who had a stillborn baby 18 years ago instead of Kyuri. Rudolph switched the babies for some reason, I have no idea why. This could also be why Rudolph claimed that he would die in episode 1, because he was thinking about revealing the truth to both of them. And now we only have the 10th Twilight of the 4 games left to uncover. Let's go! In episode 4, we learned that some kind of a terrible accident happened on the island. This accident was so massive that it made the police think that everyone died thanks to it. It was impossible to prove that anyone was murdered. Kinzo's books that were in his study also were lost to the accident. And Astrid Angie couldn't find the mansion on the island, and the mansion isn't that far away from the coast. The mansion had completely disappeared. How could this be? What could have done all of these things and be viewed as an accident? The terrible accident was a gigantic explosion. Except it wasn't an accident at all. Sayo set up the explosion so that it would kill everyone at 1 minute past midnight. That is the time a game between Beata and Butler ends as well. A game ends this time, along with everyone's lives. Alright, now that we know the truth behind the 10th Twilight, let's finish up part 4 of these games and bring Beatrice to her knees. The 10th Twilight of the first game, Maria, George, Jessica, all believed in the witch. That is why they were invited to the garden and died when the mansion exploded. Butler and Beatrice might have had gotten away from the mansion before it exploded. It's hard to tell. We never got a confirmation that Butler actually died in the Tenth Twilight, and during the party only the other three cousins got a death scene. The illusion of the first game has been broken. The Tenth Twilight was the second game. Butler, Genji, Rosa, and Maria died in the explosion. The ending of the episode symbolizes Rosa realizing that Maria is more important than the promised gold. After Rosa realized this, Maria approached to her about this whole mess and revealed the truth about Beatrice to her. After this, they tried to run away from the mansion, but didn't get far enough and were still caught in the explosion. The illusion of the second game has been broken. The Tenth Twilight of the third game. We saw that Eva killed Butler around 7 PM. After this, Eva met up with Sayo. Sayo then revealed the truth about everything to her, about her past, about Kinza, about the garden which Beatrice said. After this, Sayo gave Eva the head ring and showed her how to get to the hidden mansion. Eva got to the hidden mansion before the main mansion exploded. After this, Beatrice went back to Jessica and died together with her when the mansion exploded. The illusion of the third game has been broken. Now, only a single illusion remains. The Tenth Twilight of the fourth game. Ushiromiya Butler. I will now kill you, and right now there is no one other than you on this island. The only one alive on this island is you. Nothing outside the island can interfere. You are all alone on this island, and of course I am not you. Yet I am here, now and about to kill you. Beatrice's final riddle. The final riddle that she can give to us as a witch. Whew. Here goes. This is my brute truth. Ushiromiya Butler died when the mansion exploded. There is a mechanism in the painting that activates the explosion. This is how Beatrice killed Butler. The painting counts as Beatrice as well. It is just an extension of herself. The illusion of the fourth game has been broken. All four of the games have been broken. A human was the culprit, a witch didn't have any involvement with the games. While we might have had uncovered the truth of the four games, that wasn't enough to put Beatrice down. We also need to pierce her heart. Before we do that, we need to understand how Sayo came to this point. What happened in her childhood? For someone to become a serial killer, they must have had a really messed up childhood. I believe that her childhood involves Natsuki. There are three things relating to Natsuki that make no sense to me at the moment. Firstly, why does she have such a strong hate towards Shannon? Secondly, why does Krause have zero trust in her? And thirdly, why does she keep getting the headaches? Now for the trust part. It could be just that Natsuki didn't go back to Jessica for a long time. However, this is not damn good at all. If we flip over the chessboard, why would Krause still have no trust in her for that after 16 more years? This motive makes no sense. His lack of trust isn't related to Jessica. Here is my theory. In the second Beatrice died, Kinzo gave Sayo to Natsuki and Krause, since they still didn't have a kid themselves. He felt pity for them and didn't want to raise another kid himself. We know that he stopped using the hidden mansion since the boat stopped delivering stuff for it. Kinzo didn't allow them to share the information of her existence with anyone else. During the 3-year gap before Jessica's birth, Natsuki screwed up and Sayo fell off a cliff just like her mother did. On this page, you see that a cliff with a broken fence. There also is a lot of blood. This page depicts the moment Sayo's life went to shit. Natsuki and Krause assumed that Sayo died from the fire. However, that wasn't the case. Kinzo and the servant somehow saved her and didn't reveal her fate to the two. After that, they put her in the hidden mansion until she became a teenager. This is Sayo's sad past. And to answer the 3 questions about Natsuki. Natsuki hates Shannon because she reminds her of her first kid. Krause doesn't trust Natsuki because he believes that she is responsible for the death death of their first kid, and Natsuki gets her headaches from her gut for causing the death of her first kid, and the alpha treatment she receives from Kraus for causing it to happen. This is also why Natsuki is so strict towards Jessica. She doesn't want this to happen again. And then there is a cause for this tragedy. Butler's sins. Thanks to episode 4, we learned that Butler's sin is hurting Beata. However, she stated that it wasn't between her and Butler. We now know that Beata is just another personality that Sayo has. Beata didn't exist 6 years ago. She was created when Sayo saw the Epitaph and became the Golden Witch. The scene happened between Butler, Ushiromiya, and Shannon the Servant. This is how Beata wasn't involved in the scene, but it still breaks her heart. I will be back. See you again. I will come for you, riding a white horse. Sayo says that she can remember Butler leaving the island like it was yesterday. You only say that about your most precious memories. Butler was the first person who showed real affection for her. This is when Sayo fell in love with Butler. All of her other personalities love Butler as well and can't bring themselves to truly love anyone else. Sayo wants Butler to remember his sin so that she can forgive him. She dreams of Butler coming to save her from this nightmare. Without love, anger or sadness, the truth cannot be seen. To understand Beatrice, we need to understand these three emotions. Why did she cause this tragedy and what does she hope to accomplish with it? It's time to flip over the chessboard one final time and to learn the truth. Let's start with anger and sadness. These two emotions are the emotions that create a black witch. You do evil things when possessed by these emotions. These two emotions can only be created by other people doing bad stuff to you. Sayo was constantly bullied and abused by everyone around her. As Shannon, everyone insulted her skills as a maid. Kinzo Masraiki didn't treat her well either. Well, of course he didn't, he's Kinzo. She was just imprisoned on the island without anyone knowing her. Sayo is just a bird in a cage. Nothing changed even after she solved the Epitaph. She hates the entire family and wants them to suffer. She wants them to suffer as much as she did. The Black Witch controls her. The Black Witch symbolizes all the sadness and anger the person has. People only notice these emotions about the person they hate. To truly understand the person, you must look deeper and deeper. Ignore these emotions and look for their core. What motivates them to live? No person has an evil core. A person's core is made up of their love. You need to see all the person's sides and to get their heart. You have to look from all the possible perspectives and flip over the chessboard a million times. That is the only way you can understand someone. If you aren't coming back, I would rather have never been born. Why am I unable to love anyone? So I'm begging you, no matter how it ends, kill me in my tear. If you don't, you will die. Beatrice for her entire life has just been a bear trapped in a cage. This is why she wants Butler to kill her. She hates the life she has had, especially since Butler never came to rescue her. The best way to hurt a person is by betraying their expectations. However, she still wants to love and to be loved. Beata wants Butler to remember his promise so that she can forgive him for forgetting it. She doesn't want to hate or hurt Butler at all. Being with Butler is her greatest wish. Butler needs to remember his sin and make things right with her. How does love come into play when we are talking about the mothers themselves? The 7 stakes of purgatory show us the answer. Their task is to forgive the sin the person committed and to free the soul. Beata wants to forgive everyone for their sins. She doesn't want to hate them. No, she wishes to love them. Her stake that pierces a person had the specific sin. Let's look at the first game's gauges. Genji was pierced by pride. Thanks to his pride in being a furniture, he hasn't done anything to stop all the bad things that have happened on the island. He is even helping Sayo with her murders thanks to his pride. Kumasawa got envy. In episode 5 we learned that Kumasawa wanted to serve the Epitaph really badly. She even had notebooks filled with info about the Epitaph and pictures taken from the island to help her solve it. There is only one emotion that would make someone try this hard. We saw the same thing happen with Eva. The emotion is envy. Canon had wrath. Canon represents the wrathful side of Sayo's personality. This tragedy is proof of her having large wrath. Her wrath is one of the main reasons for this mass murder. She wants to get revenge on the family for treating her so badly. Nanjo is wrathful. Nanjo was just sitting on the sidelines and allowed everything to happen. He didn't try saving Sayo from her fight or stop her from killing everyone. Nanjo didn't even reveal that Kinzo was dead to everyone. He truly is a wrathful being. Wrathful being. And it sounds so similar to another word. But he isn't that. I don't think it is. Kinzo was pierced by greed. Kinzo wants everything. The god, Beatrice's robe, his family, all his fortune. He didn't want to lose any of that. He even had an affair with his own daughter because he didn't want to lose his robe for the original Beatrice. His greed is unmatched. Hideyoshi is gluttonous. Hideyoshi is both fat and smokes a lot. He doesn't care about his health and just allows his gluttony to control his life choices. And finally, Eva is wrathful. Eva wasn't wrathful in the traditional sense. No, she was wrathful for money. We ran in the third game that she wouldn't share the money with her siblings if she managed to get it. The same person also was never pierced by a different stake. If the character gets pierced by a stake, it is always the same one as the one character got pierced by in a previous episode. This is their main sin. Sayo wishes to forgive the sins they committed by gouging them with the stakes. This is her main goal with the murders. Also, I believe that the characterization Beato got in episode 3 is true. None of that was a lie. In episode 3 we saw who Beato truly is. She wants to be a good witch, someone who helps everyone and makes them happier. However, her Black Witch is way too strong. The Black Witch controls her and forces her to continue living as a bird rock in a cage. We want to break free from her anger and sundress, and only see love. This is also why Sayo tries so hard to make Butler believe in magic. She believes that magic is the only way people can be happy, and she wishes to be happy together with Butler. This is her core, the core of her being. Sayo Ushiro-miya just wants love. And now, Beato's heart has been pierced. However, she hasn't been defeated quite yet. Like it was implied in the Witch Tea Party of episode 4, that wasn't the last mystery that Beato had up her sleeve. No, the last mystery is the story itself. How are Beato and Butler are fighting right now? How are they seeing 4 different worlds? What does all of this mean? This is a true final mystery. Here I go. In the manga version of episode 1, we see a drawing of Berncaster and Rambaderta in Maria's diary. We also see Berncaster in a cartoon. It seems to me like they are fictional characters. We also know that 2 games have been put in battles and have been found in the future. It is likely that all the games were put in battles and thrown into the ocean. We know the score sheet is inside the battle diary, and every game had a score sheet. It is possible that someone found all 4 of the games. This someone is writing the magic battle between Beatrice and Butler. The entire debate is just a fictional story that is written to try to understand the truth behind the tragedy. The author himself is writing Umineko inside the story. This is a human truth. The only possible human truth that I could think of. However, this is not damn good. Not damn good at all. Do you want to tell me that all this is just story inside a story? That nothing about these characters or events was real? That it didn't really happen? Nah, fuck that. And I reject the human truth. It is depressing and male. I want to believe in the heart. This is why I have to admit defeat. Alright, it's dying. I can't beat this Ras Umineko mystery. It is impossible by a human attack, at least not in a way that will satisfy me. Magic really does exist, even if the murders might have not been committed by a human. This is why I believe in it. This is why beating Beato is impossible. Berncaster and Lamboderte were wrong. Beato can win this game. She will win this game. Completely rejecting magic is impossible. Magic is all around us. It just depends on how we look at everything. Without love, you cannot see the magic. There is no reason to deny our magic. We just want to show us that there was 18 people on the island were good human beings at their core. Even if they did awful things. Every person has their own truth. We don't decide what the truth is for someone else. Everyone is a protagonist of their own life. Everyone has their own love. Without love, you cannot see the real truth.